Right, let's see where we go from here. Anyway, so welcome back. We're just continuing from the previous session. The last session we ended with if statements, and we started writing shorthand if statements and also doing comparisons. So things like where we had several inputs and then we say if maybe one variable is greater than or equal to the other. These are just simply comparison statement equations that we've got there. So we'll be continuing from there. I think we are okay with this particular output and we agree to it. Let's see if we have, let's assign A to an input. So if we make A an input and we say, so we get that input from the user and we say, let's say type in. And remember by putting this string in there, we just basically allowing the input to be on the same line, right? Type in your initials. Say initial. We don't care about this. Let's comment that out. So we comment that out and let's say if A is equal to maybe M, then you want to print welcome, Michael. I can't type. Yeah, whatever. Say hello, Michael. That works. Type back. Say welcome, Michael. Let's get rid of this there. Let's get rid of that. See, just delete. Then I'll get rid of that too. So run it. Let's type M. Say hello, Michael. Okay, so let's move this. Just a few things so we kind of agree some small modifications. So type in your initial. So I have either M or small m, for example. So if I run it and I type in M, let's say hello, Michael. And also if I run it and type capital M, we just say hello, Michael. Let's run it again and type something else. I don't know. Still nothing saying what is happening. Let's say both are equal to strings. Let's type in something else. Or A equal to M print who are you? Something like that. Let's see what I works. What did I miss? Yeah, basically anything else would be who I use, just done some slight modifications to the code. And if I put M, it will just print hello, Michael. Or if I print, if I type small m, then it will just still say. So anything else will type something else. We okay up to this point? Yeah? Hmm? I've run it a few times. Sorry? Doesn't work for you? So then I'll put a small task for you. So your task is basically to write a code that gets the abbreviation of the day of the week from the user, and it will display the name of the day in full. So if the user should type the abbreviation below, which is MTU, W, all these are the corresponding days of the week that should print out. So just take note, you want it to be case sensitive. So I'll give you a go, try it out. Let's see how it goes. One. Right, so there are a few things that we want to take care of. Let me double check, see if I'm sharing the right screen. Just bear with me. Perfect. So I just want to touch on a few things because I'm seeing some stuff. You noticed earlier, I wrote this without putting A equals to, and then we had issues. So it just had to be each of these, just consider these as a separate unit. So you've got A equal to M or A equal to small m in this particular case. There are other logical operators that we can actually deal with, which is like AND operator. So I'm just going to, because this part, I just want to skip it really quickly. So I'm going to put some stuff on there, which is where we started from. This is the code we started with. So basically, if you've got, let's say, A equals to something, B equals something, C is equal to something, and you want to compare it in a particular range, then you can actually have the AND operator there. We can write slightly different code where we just want to say if, let's say, A is greater than B and A is less than C, for example. But the key thing is try to figure out how to write this, just the syntax, okay? So make sure the syntax sinks in. Okay, we've dealt with an OR, and the NOT is like a NOT gate. It's just an inverse. I'm going to get rid of this code if you don't mind. Or I'll keep it there. I'll just keep it there. NOT is simply an inverse. So if I have something like A is equal to 33, B is equal to 200, and I write if not A is greater than B. So in this case, we know that A is definitely less than B. So we just want to find out whether A is less than B or not. It's pretty much the same thing. So let me run it. And it does say A is not greater than B, because here A is greater than B is what? False. Yeah? A is greater than B is false. But with the not there, it makes it true. It's like inversing a negative, right? Makes it true. So run it, then it becomes true. So what we've seen or, we've seen and then we've seen not. We cool with this? Yep. So we do have a nested if. What's the idea of nested statements? Nested. Hmm? To nest something, you just basically putting it into the other. So it's like an if statement within an if statement within an if statement. So what do they call it? Those dolls that you take one out and there's another one and there's another one in. Take it as a box within a box within a box within a box. Yeah. So basically, the first if statement would take you into a smaller box. Then you just keep unraveling. But let's take an example. So let's say we have an X. Let's take an input. Why isn't it working? Yeah. And we want to take this input from the user. So enter a number. Okay. And we want to check if the number is greater than 1,000, we'll do something. Let's say print number is greater than 1,000. Let's make this easy with the prompt. Then else we will print number is too small, right? Okay, let's run it and see. 2,200 error trace string, whatever. So if, will this work? Let's see. So that work, number is too small, run it again, make it 3,000. Number is greater than 3,000. So in here, we want to say if someone inputs a bigger number than 1,000, or bigger number is here, bigger number is number greater than 1,000. We want to test more conditions. Does that make sense? So for numbers bigger than 1,000, we want to test more conditions, meaning these conditions will fall within here, this block, not the else block, right? Because by the time we get to the else, we know the number is too small. So let's step in here and then we can have another if. X is, let's say, less than 2,000. Let's make it less than or equal to. Less than or equal to 2,000. Then we just say, print, you are not rich enough, something like that. Doesn't make sense. You are almost broke. Right? So let's see if this works. So we get 2,000. Number is greater than 1,000, you're almost broke. Right? So we did step in here, and then we stepped in here as well. We can actually make it more subtle by doing this. So we say 2,000, then just say you're almost broke. Okay? So run it again. We have 200. You say your number is too small. So basically, your account is too small. Right? How much money do you have left? I've left for Valentine. Did I spell it correctly? Valentine? Is it E or an A? For Valentine. Right? How much money do you have for Valentine? So you just say 300. Then you say your account is too small. Go home. Right? Okay, so we've got something like that. Now we know that we can have more. We can actually have another one to say if, so this is an if within an if. So it steps within this if. This condition is met, steps within that if, that condition is met, and then we can just say if X is less than or equal to 1,500. No, because this 2,000. So 2,000, yeah, greater, less than or equal to, yes. So it's 1,500. We just want to print. Dude, you need some cash. Else print. Maybe hang in there. Nope. Start using money wisely, sorry. Right? But these conditions, they fall, this stuff falls under the if, right? So these conditions will only be executed. Well, this will only be executed if that condition is true. So let's test it out if we didn't make any mistakes. So we're just going to say 1,600, for example. And you say you almost broke, start saving money, start using money wisely. If I run with 1,400, it just say you almost broke, dude, you need some cash, right? Now we want to say anything here, anything, because this will only work if it's below 2,000 or below or equal to 2,000. So I can have an elif, right? If X is below what, 5,000? Print. You are good to plan for Valentine. Let's make this one simple. Then we leave it there. We don't want to step into it because we've just proved the concept here. Is if within an if. So we just say else, which is any, that would be what? Anything above 5,000, right? So else we just say you are the boss. Decide what you want to do with your money. Decide what you want with your money, for example. So ask me something to input.
Why did you put LFX less than or equals to 0.5?
We'll come to you in a second. Ask me and tell me something to input there. What number? How much money do you have? 6? 6,000 says you are the boss. Decide what you want to do with your money. Right? So basically, we've just taken only one variable, and we've tested all these conditions with, not several variables. Just one variable is enough, right? And then this if statement is on the same level as this else statement. So which means if we run it, and then I put what? 20, it will jump all the way from line 2 to line what? 14. Does that make sense? Now, your question earlier was, why didn't we put else and then we tested something?
Why did we put LF instead of if X is less than or equals to 1.5?
Here. This one, this box, okay? Its elif is this one. So basically, this if statement on line 4, when that condition is met, so we say, yes, the number is greater than 1,000. Yes, the number is less than or equal to 2,000. So what should we do next? So we say, if the number is less than or equal to 2,000, tell them they're almost broke. Now we have further things we want to check. Okay, the number is actually greater than 1,000, less than 2,000. But again, we want to check if it's greater than 1,000, less than 2,000, but it's less than 1,500. If that condition is not met, it means that what? By default, is greater than 1,500. So if I put 1,501, for example, and I run it, you say, how much money do you have for Valentine? So it's 1,501, and press enter. It says you almost broke. Start using money wisely, which is what we have here. Cool? Just one more thing on the if, and then we carry on, right? If statement. So I believe if we've got x equals int, we're just using the int to convert input to bracket, enter, not enter a number, right? And we give it space, give it something for it to be typed in. Then we just say if x equal to 20, then we just leave it. We said maybe at this point we are not sure what we're going to type, so we just say let's put a comment, do something, and then we write else print you are late, for example. Let's see what I will run. It complains because what? Line 4, it expects something before that. The if statement is not complete. So we're not sure what we're going to do, so we can just type pass, right? The if statement cannot be empty. So you put pass, so we just put 20, nothing happens. We run it, and then we put anything but 20 says you are late. Okay? So you can't leave the if statement empty. Just use the keyword pass. And that should wrap up the if statement recording.